Hey guys, it's Tom. It's a Friday night. In February, we got the Autumn Wind AFC Championship game. Off-tackle right to Spencer Ware for Dennis. Between Luke Riddenauer's Chicago Bears, 12-4 regular season, and my good friend Dennis Crowley's Seattle Seahawks, undefeated, 16-0. This is to make the Autumn Wind Super Bowl, where Dennis and the Seahawks are the defending champions, beating Nathan's club last year. Dennis got the ball first. We missed a couple of plays. He completed a white die 6-20-yarder to Greg Olson up towards midfield. Now he's got 3rd and 4 from his own 45. Short pass, Gary Barnage. 3 men there. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Receiver incomplete. Looks like Luke has the good pass defense cards, and the Seahawks will punt it from their own 45, 4th and 4. Shane Leckler's a fine punter. Coughlin corners this one. It's a nice one. Out of bounds at the 9 for the Bears. Trying to make sure everything is kosher here on my broadcast, and it is. 1st and 10, Bears at their own 9. Luke's got Marcus Mariota quarterback. Ezekiel Elliott running back. Decent offensive line. 2 5s and a 6. Center left guard are only 4s. Both tight ends are a 5, not the best receivers in the world at those positions. Emmanuel Sanders and Odell Beckham on the outside. Dennis, I believe, plays excellent. Off tackle right to Ezekiel Elliott. Defense guessing pass, but Dennis has a linebacker there. His linebackers go 6-6-4 against the pass. Offensive onside tackle +7 and +2. That's Trent Williams, the Washington Redskins 6'7", making the block. And I don't know what happened here. It says that Luke got a 7-yard gain, and I was showing a 2nd and 12 from the Chicago 7. It was 1st and 10 right before that, so something very strange just happened. Anyway, flat pass right to Emmanuel Sanders. And it's complete for 4 yards. Dennis with excellent pass defense cards. There's something very strange going on here. That was a 4-yard completion. Now it's showing 3rd and 11. There was something wrong, and I'm going to exit the game and restart it. That was very odd to me. So we're going to miss a couple of plays here. Wake up. Spell mode on. 22487. Go to sleep. So something's wrong. I don't know if I have the wrong. I don't think I have the pregame files in there. So we're going to miss a few plays. I still haven't gotten used to the spectator system with the new game. And I know Paul sent out some files. I feel badly that I'm missing this right now. Here we go. But I was definitely getting an error message there. Something was certainly amiss there. So let's try this again. Wake up. 22487. Go to sleep. And flat pass left guard Barnage. Okay. Looks like we're in business. I don't know what happened there. And what we missed was the Bears probably punted because Dennis has the ball 2nd and 8 now at the Chicago 47. When we left, the Bears were around their own 10-yard line. So we missed a few plays, but probably nothing terribly impactful. 2nd and 8, everyone left. Spencer Ware gets wrong. Short game for Ware, 14 yards at a first down to Chicago 33. Things getting impactful now. 8:06 to go here in the first half. This is Dennis' second possession. Yeah, the Bears win 3 plays, lost 2 yards, and then punted. Autumn win a defensive league usually. Looking past to Greg Olson. You're being double teamed, incomplete. As they played both with double counting and no dump off. As we know famously, if you're an Autumn Wind member and look at the form, I'd like to post a live link to the broadcast, but don't want to miss any action. Flat pass left, Gary Barnage. 7 to short gain on the defense is called on the white die 6. So the white die 6 is still in play. So it's not all for the defense. You can still do good things there. And just like Dennis, Luke goes 6'6'4" at linebacker. Does not have Dennis' secondary, nor his defensive line. And Luke does play a good 4-3. Dennis's run blocking not that great either. And he's had most of his success here early in the game with the flat pass white die 6. Flat pass left, Gary Barnage. Luke is blitzing and gets the sack for Clinton McDonald. The defensive tackle 4-5. And it's 2nd down and 15. Dennis pushed back to the 21. Dennis won his divisional round game only 7-3 against Butch's New Orleans Voodoo. 10 combined points only. To show you what kind of defensive league it is, they were 2 of the top defensive clubs. I think they were number 1 and 2, giving up under 200 points for the season. Again, it's a defensive rule set. 2nd and 15. Looking past Gary Barnage. There's nobody there. Receiver gets wrong, incomplete, because even the man covering Barnage was blitzing as Dennis runs the 2 tight, 2 wide, 1 running back most of the time. I want to make sure that I have the broadcast going. Okay. I'll post a link when I can. 3rd and 15 now for Mr. Crowley at the Chicago 21. 2 tights, 2 wides, 1 running back. Defense goes nickel 3-3-5. You'll probably see a linebacker or off tackle here with Spencer Ware against his nose tackle 0. But the linebacker is a 6-5. There's a draw for Ware. Gets a dreaded 5. No gain. The fumble, though. But Dennis recovers his own fumble. And looks like he did not try to advance it. He wants to make sure he gets the field goal attempt. Again, defensive rule set. So any points are good points, especially early. 4th and 15 for Dennis at the 21. Nick Folk comes out for the field goal. It's good, 2-10. And it's 3-0 Mr. Crowley. Late first quarter. Kick into the end zone for Quan Bray, who will undoubtedly down it, I would think. Wake up. Stop Microsoft Word. Are we good? Question mark. Scratch that. Spell mode off. Are we good? Question mark. Go to sleep. Wake up. Dennis? Question mark. Scratch that. Go to sleep. Looks like we lost Dennis that time. They're stuck on the kick deep into the end zone. So we'll have a good game number momentarily. And we'll wait for that. I've been arguing with Mark LePage in the forum. Yeah, and then you call the game. You start calling the games and you start talking, and Maybe the more social side of me comes out and I feel a little badly for misbehaving on the forum the way I have been in the last 48 hours. Mark can't bring it out of me. Micah Reeves has been calling the Autumn Wind playoffs. There we go. So I will, and he's been doing an excellent job kind of making this his thing, which is good, I think. So let me post over here. Wake up, spell mode off. Here is a live link to my broadcast of the Chicago outside of Seattle AFC Championship game. Period. Delete previous character. Come in -progress, call a new paragraph. Select all. Press Control key Victor. Go to bottom. New line. New paragraph. Move up to. Make sure I get the good name. Make sure I get the new game number. Press Enter key. Move up 2. Move down 1. Press Control key Charlie. Press Control key Victor. Go to sleep. So Luke Riddenauer, the Bears coach, Dennis has decided to reboot his computer. So we'll delay here. I haven't been following the Autumn Wind playoffs as closely as usual. I'm probably taking a step back from any of the extracurricular stuff I had been doing in Autumn Wind the last couple of years. Good to see Michael kind of taking over as the Autumn Wind primary broadcaster, I would say. I have a lot of strat on my plate, so you just might not see me doing too much in Autumn Wind outside of playing my games. I'll focus my extracurricular efforts in some of my other leagues. Not that I play in a lot of leagues, but so we know that on the other side, Mark Lepage's 14-1-1 Dallas Cowboys were upset in the divisional round. It's a major upset. No, it's not. That's not the other side. This is the same side as this. Luke beat the Cowboys, and that was a big surprise to everybody. As everyone was kind of expecting the rematch of Cowboys Seahawks. From the regular season. Dennis 16-0, trying to go 19-0 and win back-to-back championships, which probably hasn't happened in a while for Autumn Wind. I don't think it's happened in the last 5 or 6 years. They don't have like an easy place to click and see like who won every season type of deal, I don't think. And you can click and see how each team did each year. And we're back here. Wake up. Spell mode on. 93159. Go to sleep. We're back in the game. The broadcast is going. My video is off. Now I sent out the live link. and I am in. Linebacker Ezekiel Elliott, there was a touchback on the kickoff. We missed that. Offensive left guard +4 or -1, gains 4 yards. This time everything seems to be correct, with the results that I'm seeing matching what's actually happening on the field. I don't know what happened on that first possession for the Bears. I was showing him gaining yardage, and the down and distance was showing him losing yardage. Flat pass left Odell Beckham guessed wrong. Luke throwing at Dennis's 4 linebacker. White die 6, 12 is a 30-yard gain from Mariota to Odell Beckham Jr. And suddenly the Bears are across midfield to the Seattle 41. Dennis plays this excellent defense. There'll be a lot of standing around, but he will, I'm sure, cover for that 4 at times. He'll double team Odell Beckham at times, and he'll move his linebackers around a little bit. Off tackle right, Ezekiel Elliott, as he did there, which will, of course, bring some blitzing into play. There's a linebacker there. It gets wrong, though. -1 on the defense on 8. Well, imagine if we didn't play the individual fumble. This would be 2-9 and 12. It was excellent to be even more overpowered. 2nd 11 for the Bears. These excellent excellence, very tough to move the ball. Really very little coaching required by the defense. Just kind of stand there, call, pass, or run, and you're going to do very well against a lot of people. But you have a couple of minuses, and you probably should do some manipulation that Dennis is doing here. And we left Marcus Mariota guessed correctly. This could be a bad play for Luke. 8 is a 2-yard loss. The end right for quarterbacks will usually lose you a lot of yardage, although Strat has given them better cards in the last 4 or 5 years than they used to. It used to be all 11-8. But here, Mariota's -5.75, but the rest not too bad. But some of the pistol quarterbacks, their end right's not much different than a good halfback. 3rd and 13. Short pass, Odell Beckham, single coverage, surprisingly. And it's complete for 11 yards. Setting up a 4th and 2 for Luke at Dennis's 33-yard line. Luke will probably go for it here or try a long field goal, depending on how good his kicker is. He's going to go for it. Goes full house backfield against the excellent. Let's take a look what these linebackers look like. Von Miller is a 66, and I think this is Bobby Wagner, also a 66. So if you're going to try and run linebacker off tackle here, you're running at 6 linebackers on an excellent defense. That's going to be rough. Could see an end run. Could see a short pass, trying to get something on Mariota's card. The safety will automatically move into the zone if Dennis does not manipulate him elsewhere. So I don't think the full house might be the best call here. You do have Elliott and Eddie Lacy. Mariota can do an end run. We talked about the end run right being a problem. So interesting here what's called. Linebacker Ezekiel Elliott. Dennis goes short yardage. Luke needs his own card pretty much. Or blocking really gets box scores, but only 1 yard for Elliott. As he had 25 or 36 units, would have gotten him 2 yards in a first down, but he gets the box scores for only a 1 yard gain. And Dennis takes over on downs from his own 32. Right, took the score against the Seahawks, so Luke was unable to capitalize on a scoring opportunity there. Look at best to Spencer Ware. Is complete for 3 yards. Luke's been doing a lot of blitzing of his outside linebackers here, trying to cover these defensive tackle 4s, and his linebackers go 6-6-4. Those are 2 of his 3 6s on defense, and the other one is a defensive end. So there's only 6s in coverage in the back 7, or the left linebacker and the middle linebacker. So he knows that Dennis doesn't want to tempt him with the flat passing too much. Dennis's stats look like he goes downfield more with Wilson, then goes flat. Emmer left to Spencer Ware, gets 8 of the defense for 12 yards. It's a first down for Seattle, up with their own 47. I would suspect there have been at least one undefeated season in Autumn in the past, if not more. Again, the league format, especially with no dump off now and double counting, lends itself to being top heavy, and it's much harder to get an upset. So I think you probably have more 15-1 and 16-0 type seasons, but I'm not sure. I thought somebody might have had when I lost to the playoffs a few years ago. I don't recall, but 2nd and 4 for the Seahawks at the Chicago 47. Emmer left to Spencer Ware. Linebacker in zone -1 or +3. It's a 3-yard gain. Eli Harrell could not make the play. But Luke's done a nice job getting guys into zones. Although that time he would have been better off with a defensive end +1 or +5, which would have only been 1 yard, but still. So we started the second quarter here. 3rd down and 1 for Dennis at Luke's 44-yard line. Long pass, Golden Tate. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 6 incomplete on Russell's card. Now 4th and 1 for Dennis. We know he likes to go for it. But with this excellent defense, will Dennis punt it from the 44? No, he won't. Dennis will go for it. How can you question Dennis? Probably the best coach in the online community. But I wonder if in this particular matchup with this particular defense that he has, if he'd be better off playing the conservative play, playing the field position. You could pretend it's like, the early 1980s or something in this league with the defensive rule set. It's not at all really like the modern NFL, the way this league is set up right now. And that does not seem likely to change anytime soon. 4th and 1 for the Seahawks at the Chicago 44. Linebacker Spencer Ware, defense run king Russell Wilson, 6 yards and a first down for Mr. Crowley. Knows what to call, knows when to call it. And he's got himself a 4th down conversion and a 1st and 10 at the Chicago 38. After my admonition about maybe coaching it conservatively. And my left Spencer Ware gets wrong. Offensive onside guard, +7 and +2. This team's undefeated, but the run blocking is not good. 4-4-4-0-4. And the pass blocking is also porous. Flip pass right to Sean Jackson, linebacker in zone, extra short gain. But Brian Arakpo, the 6, makes the play. And just like that, Dennis is facing 3rd and 8. There are no 7s on this offensive line, only 1 5. So you could see where Luke got his sack from. And here on 3rd and 8, you'd have to say, well, maybe why not bring a safety blitz, perhaps? But Luke was 12 and 4. Luke's in the AFC Championship game. He knows his team. Short pass, Gary Barnage, Foreman there. Single coverage, 6, incomplete on Russell Wilson. Not to beat a dead horse, but as teams have shown this year, at least, you really don't need pass rush to play good defense in this league. But that does not mean you shouldn't take advantage if the other guy's got bad pass blocking. But a 4th and 8 from the 36, Dennis is thinking, good, go for it, or long field goal. I don't think Nick Folk is too good from deep, so he's going to go for it. Plus, if he misses those deep field goals, the guy's already up by midfield. 3 wide, 1 halfback, pistol formation. There's that nose tackle 0. Dennis ran a draw on 3rd and long last time he was down here, but that was from a 2 tight, 2 wide. Dennis usually will not run a draw from a 3 wide. My doorbell's ringing. I hope the lady answers it. Some Colombian food en route. Long pass, Golden Tate again. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Tate's covered by 4. Receiver gets right, 27 yards and a first down. Tate's 12 of 18. He's got that very good flat pass, long pass card. And Luke would have had to double team him correctly. Or drop 2 men back there. And he didn't. And then the very next play, we have an end run left, Spencer Ware, 8 on the defense, 12 yards and a touchdown Seahawks. Dennis goes up 9-0. And he's going to make it 10. Apologize for the bad call there. My doorbell rang and my assistant wasn't getting it, so I was being summoned. The kick goes down 1 yard into the end zone. And Quan Bray will down it. I suspect that's all we're going to see here are touchbacks and the kickoffs to Luke. So a big momentum change there, or a big game shift there. Dennis converts stuff on the 4th down and 8. The 27-yard completion gets a touchdown in the very next play. And instead of 3-0 and punting, it's 10-0. And here Ezekiel Elliott fumbles the ball, but Luke recovers it. The Bears recover their own fumble. Elliott's fumble number is pretty low, 8.8. Guess right there. But there was a 6 out of 1,000, only a 2-yard gain as the center Travis Swanson of the Podpie family could not make the block. 2nd down and 8 for the Bears. Long pass to Odell Beckham being double teamed by Dennis. 8 is incomplete. Makes it a 3rd down and 8. But Dennis converted 2 4th downs on that last possession. The 4th and 1 from the 44, and then the big 4th and 8 from the Chicago 36. Go and complete it with a bomb in style, 27-yarder. 3rd and 8 for the Bears. I talked about in this matchup, maybe Luke should be bringing the blitz a little more on those 3rd and long and 4th and long situations, especially 4th and long, perhaps. Short pass, Ladarius Green. Here's some pass rush from Dennis. A sack and a fumble, or possibly a snap fumble. It was a sack fumble. Tremaine Brock coming in on the blitz. It was not actually an in-game safety blitz, but just that's who it got assigned to. Sacks Marcus Mariota. Mariota fumbles the ball. The veteran DeAndre Levy recovers it. And Dennis had the ball, 1st and 10 to Chicago 25, already leading 10-0. Short pass, Gary Barnage. Receiver gets right, 13 yards at a 1st down. The Hawks at the Chicago 12, and they are really ready to seize this game by the throat and not let go. Even though this is a modern season, no dump off, double counting. You get down by 17-0. It's excellent. Good luck, because you're going to need it. Look at best. Greg Olsen being double teamed. Complete for 5 yards. All the rolls going Dennis's way now. And Luke is in trouble. 2nd and 5. Hawks at the Chicago 7. This is like a heavyweight fight. You might just be like a 3rd or 4th round knockdown, not knockout, but knocked down. And Luke's gotta recover. Got to collect himself and try to somehow get back into it. Full house backfield for Dennis, very popular inside the 10. Spencer Ware and Chris Thompson, the running eligible players. Michael Rivera, the fullback. Short pass, Spencer Ware being double teamed by the safety. A turnover would be huge here for Luke, give him a real chance. But instead, it was a guess right double team. It said that he was double teamed. I thought I should have scrolled down more. I guess he was not double teamed. Guess right. And Wilson scores a touchdown, 7 yards. Dennis goes up 16-0, trying to make it 17. And the kick is up and good. And where else would you say? The kick goes down to the 4-yard line. A possible fumble now. Thankfully, it was a white die better than a 4, so no fumble. Boy. Boy, that would have been something. So now Luke's really got his work cut out for me. Down 17-0 against an excellent defense with no dump off against a great coach. It's early 2nd quarter. Obviously the game's not over, but he's really got his work cut out for him. And it does have the big play threat on the ground with Elliott. Flat pass left, Levine Tololo. As Dennis stands around, you might see more of that now with the big lead. It's complete for 7 yards. Although Dennis is an aggressive coach, he's not going to stand around too much. And there are some weaknesses here. His left tackle is only a 4. His right outside linebacker is only a 4. Odell Beckham's covered by a 5. And Dennis likes to blitz. 2nd and 3 for the Bears. At their own 23. Goes full house backfield. I don't think that's the way to go against this defense, but it could be wrong. Linebacker Eddie Lacy, defense against his pass, double teams Odell Beckham. That's not that bad, I suppose, when you have that dangerous receiver like Beckham covered by a 5 and gets wrong as a short gain on Lacy's card for 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears up at the 35. We have spectators watching the game. That is putting the proper game number up. And I thought I put I put in a player broadcast file. Okay. 1st and 10. Long pass, Emmanuel Sanders. Defense gets his run. Receiver 64 yards. Dennis guessed run, and it was wrong. And Mariota has 12 units of long pass completion, and he's got maxed out receivers, basically 5'9", 12, 14, 15. No, Sanders only 12, 18. Beckham is presumably maxed out. And he hit Sanders with a 12 of 64 yards. And a first and goal at the 1. Linebacker Eddie Lacy. Dennis run king Elliott. Touchdown Lacy on a 1-yard plunge. And the Bears get back in it at 17-6. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. It's up and good. Makes it 17-7. So 6:54 to go in the first half. This kick goes deep into the end zone to Cody Latimer, who downs it. And Dennis will collect himself. He's still up 17-7. Offense has been moving well. Flat pass left, Spencer Ware. 2 linebackers there. Receiver gets wrong. 16 yards to Golden Tate. That's a Spencer Ware. Yeah, I mean, that's just weird. I'm getting like some different, I think, results of the box that I'm getting here. Maybe Golden Tate was double teamed. Unusual, but extremely good. Flat pass wrong guard for Spencer Ware for the yardage. 11's a long gain down a running back. Short pass to Sean Jackson, guess correct. 8 on Russell. The muscles guard is incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Now the Bears could really use a couple of good plays here. Force a punt. Long pass to Sean Jackson. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Jackson covered by 5. Incomplete on Russell's card. Russell had a little lower completion percentage than I think even league average, but I think the average game was high. So, Dennis likes to air it out. And their corners are 5 and 4. Now here's 3rd and 10. I'd like to see him pressure here. Dennis has got a weak offensive line. Do say deep blitz, bring everybody. I know you don't want to give the long pass, but long pass Spencer Ware, single coverage with a 4. Receiver gets right, incomplete. 5'10 worth of units on spares. Receiving coverage about as good as you're going to get for a running back. 4 and 11, the actual rolls on the card. And Luke gets his defensive stop. 4th and 10 for the Hawks. At the 141, a booming punt into the end zone. Micah Hyde will almost certainly let that bounce or down it or whatever you want to say. And into the end zone for a touchback. It's so weird to me now that, touchback is at the 20 on a punt, but the kick gets up at the 25, which makes sense with football history, but it's just weird if you think of it that way. So 1st and 10 for the Bears. They're on 20. Emma right, Ezekiel defense gets the pass. Luke has big play capability in the ground and on the air that helps him with this rule set, certainly. But there's a dreaded 5. No big play at all. No gain for Elliott. You see 2, 3, 4, and 11, all 20 yards or more, with 3 being a long gain and 2 plus 42. And 9 out of 36 a short gain or better. And some positive yards otherwise. 2nd down and 10. Emma left to Elliott again. Well, last time was to the right. There's a defensive end 6 there. Luke needs his own card, but he gets 8 plus 7 on the defense. Shows you how good these excellents are. That's a 1st down on your average defenses. 2nd and 3, and even the good of Luke gave up plus 12 on the end run to Spencer Ware earlier in the game. 33 Bears, a big conversion for them here if they can get it. 3:54 to go in the first half. Dennis gets the ball back. He can possibly come down and add to his lead before the half. 5 pass right, Emmanuel Sanders. Defense double teaming Elliott. Linebacker 6 is there, so White Tie is not going to help Luke. Mariota's only okay. But he gets a short gain on his own card on the 3 right and wrong that all the quarterbacks have. Pretty much. I've seen a couple of exceptions, but basically all the starting quarterbacks have them. And it's a 13-yard completion for Mariota, who's 6 of 7 for $126. Luke running it more than passing it. And that time able to keep it down and distance manageable. Linebacker Ezekiel Elliott, no linebackers there. And that left tackle's only a 4 at least. And his rating comes into play. Left tackle -2 or plus 11. Ledger doozable. And that was a doozy of a run by Elliott for 11 yards, giving the Bears a 1st down at the Seattle 49-yard line. So Luke rebounding nicely. And we've got a 1st and 10 for the Bears, as it sounds like someone has joined the studio audience, which I'm always glad to hear. And we're left Ezekiel Elliott. This time Dennis gives the run call. Doesn't like to call a run too often. Defensive end +1 or +5. It's a 1-yard pickup. Randy Graham, one of Dennis's favorites, making the play. And it's Nathan Baylor of the Autumn Houston Texans, last year's Super Bowl runner-up, listening in. 2nd and 9. Flat pass left, Odell Beckham. Luke throwing at the 4. Beckham covered by a 5. So it's about one of the better matchups you're going to get against Dennis's excellent, that has 4 6s on it. And that right linebacker is the only guy in the back 7 who's a 4. And that was a 6-yard completion from Mariota Beckham. 3rd and 3 for the Bears at the Seattle 42. 2-minute warning. Another big 3rd and short here for Luke. Can he convert it like he did the last one? Linebacker Ezekiel Elliott. No linebackers there. I guess wrong. Good opportunity for the Bears. And Elliott gains 5 yards on his own card. Very solid, consistent card with some big plays on the edges, as Dennis would say. Let's see if Luke goes hurry up or something here. He does. 1:37 to go in the half. He's got all 3 timeouts. He's at the Seahawk 37. Trails by 10. Gets the ball to start the second half. Mixing up his plays very nicely here. Jimmy Dennis off balance. Off tackle right to Ezekiel Elliott. Again, no linebackers there. Guess wrong. This is at that 4. Ledger 12 at Elliott's card. A big 32-yard run down towards the end zone. Tackled at the 5-yard line. Elliott with 6 units of 26 yards or more in that off tackle column. Toss in 4 units of short gain. And the Bears have got a 1st and goal from the Seattle 5. Dennis called the defensive timeout, because Luke is certainly not worried about the clock when you're 1st and goal at the 5:90 seconds to go in 3 timeouts. Linebacker, this time Dennis calls run. That linebacker is a 66. Luke needs Elliott's card for a couple of positive yards. Gets no gain on 7. Second time Elliott let him down here on a guess right call up the middle when he was trying to get a couple. Full house backfield, 4-3 defense showing blitz now. Dennis not shy about blitzing the safety. And right, Ezekiel Elliott. A defensive end, -2 or +12, a 2-yard loss. Cliff Averill. These excellent cards will not only stop you, they'll push you back. And, of course, the excellent cards have a good interception on them. So now with Luke facing 3rd and goal from the 7, he goes 3 wide, 1 halfback. Getting Andrew Hawkins into the game, covered by a 4, but you're taking away the threat of the run quite a bit. And if Mariota has a good end run column, I would maybe like to see him stay in the 2 tight, 2 wide. Short pass, Andrew Hawkins, indeed. The free safety blitz is on, along with 2 of the linebackers. Hawkins go by 4. Touchdown, Mariota, 10 on his own card. It was a 7-on-11. Trent Williams picking up Cliff Averill, 1-29 sack. It was a 30. Dennis has a sack by 1 out of 100. And instead, the result is a touchdown. It's 17-13. Here's the extra point from Robbie Gold. It's up and good. And I said Luke was up against it when he was down 17-0 early in the second quarter. Now it's 17-14, almost all the way back. And Dennis used all 3 timeouts on defense there, so he's going to get some time. The kick is down to 8, run back out to the 27 with 52 seconds to go in the first half. But he has to kick it to Luke to start the 3rd quarter. Dennis has got Nick Folk 2-4, 2-5 from the 33-37. Defense dime 3-2-6. Maybe a flat pass, a 5 pass to Spencer Ware. There it is. Looking past Spencer Ware. Short gain for 14 yards. Dennis will probably spike it here. He's up at his own 41. He has no timeouts. Hurry up gets you to 30 seconds, but no, he spikes it. Russell Wilson lines up quickly, takes a snap and spikes the ball, as we've all seen a million times. 2nd and 10 for Seattle, their own 41. 37 seconds left. So he needs 22 yards to get to the 37. He'd love to get down closer to the 30-yard line. Certainly inside the 32. 5 pass left to Barnage. Wide die 6, 20-yard completion from Wilson to Barnage, and bang. Just like that, Dennis is at the Chicago 39. And not only that, but Barnage got out of bounds. So Seattle's got the ball at the Chicago 39. 30 seconds ago. Dennis not shy about going for the touchdown in these situations. I've seen him do that quite a bit. He doesn't like to let you get too comfortable trying to flood the flats and stuff. Line withdraw, Spencer Ware, right guard +6 or +1. That did not work out well for Dennis. The play call was good. The formation options were good, but the result was bad because this offensive line is terrible. He only got 1 yard, and Russell Wilson has to spike it again. So now it's a 3rd and 9 for Dennis at the Chicago 38. That would have been complete on a short pass. Dennis likes to, I know he calls the game, likes to talk about the different, if he had done this or done that, what the result would have been. And now he needs to gain hopefully at least 5 or 6 yards or get a first down and get out of bounds. Look at that, Spencer, we're at the 6. Throwing at the 6, so he got 7 yards, but I think that's probably going to end the half. I don't think they're going to let him line up for a field goal here, are they? No. And you can't spike it because it's 4th down. So Mr. Crowley didn't do that one right. And just cost himself a chance at a field goal there. But it was an excellent first half, 17-14. Seattle over Chicago. Luke needs 2 minutes. So we got a close game here. The Bears 12-4 in the regular season. They upset Mark Lepage's Cowboys, who were 14-1-1 in the playoffs by 1 point, I think. I think Mark missed a field goal in the last play of the game, something like that. Bears only gave up 234 points themselves in the regular season. Lost 28-14 to Miami, 26-22 to San Francisco, 16-12 to Hamilton, the musical, and 38-25 to the Eagles, who were 12-4. So 3 of Luke's 4 losses were to teams with 12 wins or better. Hamilton was under 500. Any good victories in there the regular season. Let's see, they beat the Voodoo. Well, they were only 9-7, but they played great defense this year. They beat the Saints. No, they're under 500. Beat the Voodoo twice. The Voodoo were 9-7. Really didn't have any standout stellar victories in the regular season. Didn't, and 3 losses against teams 12-4 or better. So nothing that showed you that Luke was going to come out and do what he's done so far in the postseason. So here's the kick to start the second half, deep into the end zone. Quan Bray will take a knee yet again for a touchback. And the Bears have their own 25. They trail only 17-14, trying to get another upset and make it to the Autumn Super Bowl. Luke would be very excited about that. 2 tights, 2 wide, 1 running back. He's got big plays down the field in the passing game. Long pass, Emmanuel Sanders gets wrong. We saw this for 64 yards earlier. Luke going big. Receiver box guards again, 64 yards. I don't believe it. Twice in the same game. Luke gets long pass wrong. Receiver plus 64 on Sanders on the 12. You might not get that once the whole season normally. He gets it twice in the AFC Championship game, and he's at Dennis's 11-yard line. Linebacker Ezekiel Elliott. Defense double teaming Elliott. 3-yard gain on the defense's card. Look at that excellent column, +3/+5. It's silly almost. Marcus Mariota, 9 of 10 for 203 yards. 2 tights, 2 wide, 1 running back. And we've seen that in some upsets in the fall leagues this year as we're in the playoffs now. Some teams getting big passing games. Sure best to Odell Beckham. Defense calls run, but there's 4 men there. And my card, your card, 50-50, touchdown on Mariota on the 9. Would have been picked off on the defense. And the Chicago Bears have a 20-7 lead, 2017 lead over the undefeated Seattle Seahawks. Robbie Gould trying to tack on the extra point. It's 2-9 and 12 only, but it's good. On a 5, and Dennis is losing 21-17 early third quarter with his undefeated Seattle Seahawks, the defending champion. Kick goes 1 yard deep into the end zone. Chris Thompson will probably down it unless Luke's got a bad opponent KR. Dennis scouts these things out, but he takes the touchback, and he's got the ball first and 10 in his own 25. Dennis has been moving the ball well. He got turnovers in a lot. The late first quarter through the mid-second quarter was all Seahawks, and it's been all Bears ever since. MLS Spencer Ware, short gain for 12 yards. Dennis having to wonder why he threw a looking pass with 15 seconds to go on his possession to end the first half and ran out the clock when a flat pass or something may have gotten out of bounds and given him a chance at a long field goal. 1st and 10 for Seattle. Off tackle left, Spencer Ware having a good game. Another short game for Ware, 19 yards and a big run across midfield. He's got 11 carries for 78 yards and at least 1 good flat pass reception. And Dennis is at the Chicago 44. Chris Thompson, I think, is also on Dennis's team. I think that was him returning one of the kicks. So if Ware gets low on carries, which he probably will pretty soon, you'll see Thompson get sprinkled in. Dennis would prefer to have the lead before he has to do that. He had the Chicago 44. He's trailing 21-17. Unbelievable. Left tackle left to Spencer Ware. No linebackers there. Offensive onside tackle 7-2. 7-yard gain. Riley Reef, the 4, makes the block. It's a 4 on a 4. The only way you can make that block. Luke has been conceding the run a bit here. Wants maybe lets Ware run his carry down to the ground. Dennis says, let me pop that 11 plus 45. The guys are conceding the run to you. It helps if you have a back with big runs on his card. Off tackle left to Spencer Ware. Wrong, +6. First down, because you don't mind, of course, moving the chains, and the short gains are good. But you love to make him pay by popping one of those huge runs. Gets you down the field more quickly, makes him pay for conceding. Flat pass left to Gary Barnes. This time Luke goes short yardage, but defender -4 or -2. It's a 2-yard loss with no defender assigned to Barnage. I don't know what happened. He must have slipped and fallen. And Dennis pushed back out of good field goal range. 2nd and 12 at the Bear 33. Field goal would have Dennis still trailing. Early third quarter, though. Flat pass left, Spencer Ware. Defense double teaming elsewhere. 10 incomplete on Russell's card. And suddenly it's 3rd and 12 from the Chicago 33. Dennis not conservative, but you have to think here he wants to gain enough yardage to get the more makeable field goal. You almost certainly see a run here because he's going too tight, too wide versus a nickel 3-3-5. Nose tackles is 0. Luke's shown no inclination to call run. What a great call if he did call run, but he doesn't. Linebacker Spencer Ware gains 3 yards to get into the better field goal range. That would have been no gain, all right. And Dennis would have gone for it, which Luke would probably have liked. And that field goal is no good. He got the negative variable, so it was only 2-5. And Dennis just used up some valuable Spencer Ware carries, moved the ball down towards the 30, and missed a field goal. And his still trails 21-17. Now he definitely needs a touchdown to take the lead, but first he's got to play some defense. And we're left Ezekiel Elliott is Bears have the ball at their own 37. Defense double teaming Odell Beckham. 6 for Elliott's cards is 6 on Elliott's card is 6 yards. And a 2nd down for the Bears up their own 43. Elliott 15 carries, 67 yards. A lot of that on a 32-yard run. Almost half. Off tackle left to Elliott. No one there, but the defensive tackle's a 6, as is the defensive end. But 8 is a 6-yard gain. Luke will take that. Against a defense like this, excellent, you want to get those big plays, and he got the 264-yarders. But he's done a nice job with this offense, mixing in flat passing, mixing in running, and mixing in short passing, not being afraid to challenge the weak defenders, but not doing it too much where Dennis can easily make a flood a zone or get a correct double team. And Luke has also challenged Dennis down the field. Flat pass left, Emmanuel Sanders being double teamed with multiple blitzes on. 5 is incomplete on Mariota's card. On the double team. Good double team by Dennis. That would have been a 5-yard gain. Dennis double teaming Sanders that time, even though he's covered by a 6. Not conceding it. Especially with Sanders being the big play maker so far tonight. 2nd and 10 Bears at their own 49 went out midway through the third quarter. The Bears lead Seattle 21-17. Flat pass right to Elliott. No linebackers there. Flat pass sack as Dennis brought Von Miller. And the pass was intended for Elliott. And he came up as the blocking back. Automatic sack there. Even on the flat pass. It's a matter of Miller getting to the quarterback before Elliott could break free. Elliott's a 0-0, but on a flat pass still. It would not have been a high sack chance. 3rd and 14 now for the Bears. Long pass to Emmanuel Sanders. Nobody there, but he's covered by 6. Mariota can must run it as well. Picked off 2 to 6 and 12 is incomplete on the defense. And Chicago will punt it from their own 45. Mariota 10 of 13, 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Pat O'Donnell's not very good. I released him, I believe. And then Luke picked him up. 49-yard punt down inside the 10 for Eddie Royal. Does have a touchdown and 2. At his own 6. Will he let it bounce? That's about where you should let it bounce, I believe. But Dennis returns it for 11 yards up to the 17. Dennis liking the touchdown and 2, the long gain on 12. And you got plus 11 and plus 22 and 7 and 8. So you have a chance to make something happen. Off tackle left, Spencer Ware. Defense calling pass. Dennis launched that 11 on his own card. Offensive onside tackle, rather. Reef making the block again. And the 2nd down and 3. Also from the 6, if you let it bounce, it can bounce short of the end zone and you're pinned. So a lot of reasons for Dennis to return that one. 2nd and 3 for the Hawks. 6:18 to go third quarter. They trail by 4. Chris Thompson checking in now. We mentioned off tackle left, Chris Thompson, short gain. Got a very good card. Guess wrong. Guess right. Not as good. But Dennis has to ration these Spencer Ware carries now. And Thompson stays in the game. That was his first carry of the game. He has 12 unfatigued, so 11 to go. That's math. One carry for Thompson so far. 1st and 10. Seattle at their own 41. Off tackle left, Thompson guessed correctly. 8 no gain. A big difference in the guess right column between Thompson and Spencer Ware. That would have been 6 yards. Guess wrong. I don't know how many games Dennis has had to worry about this in the second half this season. When he's outscoring guys almost 3-1. Short pass to Sean Jackson. Defense double teaming Greg Olsen. 5 on Wilson's card is complete for 13 yards. Dennis has been rolling that 5. Both on a couple of running plays and on some passing plays. So he might want to throw a fair amount of that short pass. Wilson 17 of 29 for 183. Time of possession probably heavily in Dennis' favor. Long pass, Golden take as wrong. Safety of 4. Picked off 2 to 3 on wrong on Wilson's card is incomplete. Safety of 4, left corner of 4. They are good pass defense cards, but 4 is on the matchup. Guess wrong. And Tate's 12-18. We saw earlier he caught the big 4th down long pass completion. Guessed right for 27 yards. That was a good opportunity for Dennis, but he couldn't connect. 2nd and 10 at the Bear 26. Flat pass left to Chris Thompson. 4 linebacker there. Receiver gets right for 3 yards. And you have a big 3rd and 7 for Seattle to Chicago 43. Everyone and their brother knows Dennis is going to go for it if he can break containment here. So watch for the potential of a running play to get him inside of containment. He goes too tight, too wide for running back. Luke, it's a nose tackle 0. Spencer Ware keeps running it here. Now, will he run it again? He might go for a 4th down as well. We know Dennis is aggressive with that. So let's see if Dennis runs it. Let's see if Luke says, I'm going to mix it and run call. No. Short pass to Sean Jackson. 4-man in zone. 5 is there. 3 is complete for 11 yards and a 1st down on Russell's card. Russell shaking his fist in triumph. Dan Moore joining in. listening in now alongside Nathan. 1st and 10 for the Seattle Seahawks at the Chicago 32. Dennis trails 21-17 late third quarter. Looking past Chris Thompson. There's a linebacker 6 there. Receiver gets right, incomplete. Would have been -5. Good thing it was a looking pass and not a flat pass. Dennis was down here earlier in the quarter and got to the 30-yard line where he had to try a field goal and get the negative variable resulting in a miss. I think it was a 9. I think Falk is 2-9 and 12. 23-32, but I'm not certain about that. I'll try to check in a moment. Off tackle right, Chris Thompson gets wrong. Short gain on Thompson's card. 1st down, Seattle at the Chicago 17. Dennis down 21-17. Undefeated season on the line. Defending champion. Hoping to make it to a 2nd straight Super Bowl. And he's gonna want a touchdown here to take the lead. Otherwise, have to settle for a field goal and be down 1. Off tackle left, Chris Thompson, defense calls pass. 10 is a 9-yard gain. This is a very fine Chris Thompson card, gets wrong. And Dennis is pounding it here on the ground with Spencer Ware almost fatigued. I don't know who the 3rd string back is because we're not even in the 4th quarter yet. Thomas Rawls, Well, Ware does still have 7 unfatigued carries, so it's not too bad. And Russell Wilson to come maybe a couple of runs, not his best column, but not his best card, rather. 2nd and 1 for the Hawks at the Chicago 8. 90 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. Dennis trailing 21-17. Linebacker Thomas Rawls. Defense calls pass. Linebacker in zone +1 or +4. Zach Brown, who's a 5 against the run, makes a nice play, but it's still a 1st down because it was 2nd and 1. And Dennis using Thomas Rawls there to preserve the carry. You got to be judicious, especially Dennis realizing I'm going to need these carries. Luke's guessing pass a lot. And the running game's been doing pretty well for Seattle. And when left Spencer Ware defense calls run, not that time. 8's now a 2-yard loss. And Dennis pushed back. 2nd and goal. Now, of course, Luke's good against on the defense. So the interception on his card on the short pass is a threat. Why Dennis was thinking of running. Maybe you see Chris Thompson here try and pop a short gain into the end zone. Luke's tendency has been to call pass in these types of situations tonight. 2nd and goal from the 9. Short pass, Greg Olsen being double teamed, incomplete. A linebacker double team there. Often underutilized, the linebacker double team. I find it inside the 10. 3rd and goal from the 9 as the 4th quarter starts. There's a song that's in my head. I was listening to a 90s one-hit wonder song. Walk in the Sun. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. It's been in my head for 24 hours. 3rd and goal for the line. Going right now for some reason with Dennis at the 9-yard line. First play of the 4th quarter. Seahawks trail, but they can get a touchdown right here. Luke goes nickel 3-3-5. He just refuses to safety blitz. Short pass, Golden Tate. Foreman in zone, and Dennis does not have good pass blocking. Defense double teaming elsewhere. Can Russell hit it again. 11 incomplete in the defense. 4th and goal from the 9. Early 4th quarter. Field goal, make it 21-20. So that's probably the play here, but Dennis is aggressive. But no, not on 4th and not with needing 9 yards. So Folk comes out for another field goal attempt. He needs this one. 26-yarder is good. Dennis trails 21-20. Touchback upcoming. And no. A kick down to the 4 and a 22-yard return. Means we got 1st and 10 for the Bears at their own 26. I have to look and see what Folk was from the 23 to the 32. Yeah, he was like 2-10. So that variable really killed Dennis on the early missed field goal. So the Bears have got it. 21-20, 14 minutes to go in the game. 1st and 10 at their own 26. They lead by 1. You wouldn't want to have to try to nurse a 1-point lead, I'll tell you that much. Linebacker Ezekiel Elliott, boxing play against a 4-3. Right tackle, -2 or +8, 2-yard loss, however. As you know, Atkins shoves the interior lineman for the Bears out of the way and wraps up Elliott in the backfield. 2nd and 12 for Chicago. 17 carries, 71 yards for Elliott. Nice variety of play calling by Luke here tonight. Remember, left to Mariota, like that call. Defense double teaming Beckham. Look, can we get Mariota's good look at this column? Let's see what that's about. There it is. Short game Mariota, 14 yards to the 1st down. Dennis getting a taste of his own medicine. How many end runs for Russell Wilson have we seen over the years? So nice call by Luke. 1st and 10. Mariota still has more end runs to go because he does run the ball a fair amount. At least one more. Off tackle left to Elliott. Nobody there. Dennis gets wrong. Elliott possibly can get a big run. He did it with 32-yard earlier. 8 is 7 yards. We've seen a few 7-yard plays for the Bears on first down, it seems like. I've seen the 2nd and 3 a few times. 2nd and 3 for Luke at his own 45. Goes full house again. Interesting use of the full house tonight by Luke, and I guess throughout the season. Linebacker Elliott, Dennis challenges with short yardage this time. And no gain on the defense's card. 3rd and 3. He does have Beckham covered by a 5, and Mariota's pretty decent deep, so the long pass is a threat there. We saw Dennis double-team Beckham against that full house once. We have not seen any draw plays from the full house, thank God. Oh, my goodness. Speaking of which, Super Bowl, so me for Super Bowl Monday night. Ron Dickinson versus Dale Ripley. Flat pass left to Ezekiel Elliott. Run key is on. Luke throwing at the linebacker 4. Incomplete to Mariota's card. 7 is the only thing. But when it's on a flat pass, it's not that great of a card, I guess. The old Jeff Garcia special. Oh, they used to drive guys crazy. When Jeff Garcia was playing well for the Niners, he would seem to get 7 flat passes incomplete. That's an excellent pump by Pat O'Donnell. Goes 45 yards and takes a Chicago bounce down to the 3-yard line, where Dennis will take over. 1st and 10 from his own 3. 11:06 to go in the game. He trails 21-20. A field goal would give him the lead, but make him awfully nervous on defense. As a matter of fact, anything he does, no matter what he does, Luke will have an opportunity to regain the lead. Linebacker Spencer Ware, successful run key by Luke on 1st and 10. Brought everybody with the run key, and it's a 1-yard loss. Nice call by Luke Ridenour. Let's say that Ridenour. Is Luke Ridenour the basketball player? But with no gain, guess right for the 1-yard loss. Luke Dalfume, that's the guy? Luke Ridenour. Someone look and type it into the Hangout chat there. Michael Reeves joined and left the group chat. Fine, Michael. That's fine. 2nd and 11. Set up throwing 2. Looking back to Sean Jackson, gets right 6 yards. Makes it 3rd and 5. Luke Dalfume, I think, or Dalflume. Luke D. Luke D. With a 6-yard, well, this is Dennis's ball. Russell Wilson with a 6-yard completion. And it's 3rd and 5. And that's like 9:54 to go. I mean, if Dennis doesn't get this conversion right, this play, he's going to start to feel more than a little nervous about possibly losing the game and losing his undefeated season here in the Autumn Win AFC Championship game. 3rd and 5, Seattle, their own 8. Dennis going 2 tights, 2 wide, 1 running back. Luke again, nose tackle 0 was the deal. All his starting defensive tackles are force in a 4-3, so you have no choice. You have a nose tackle 0 in there. Is Dennis going to challenge it? You would do that maybe if you had better run blocking there. No, long pass Golden Tate. Guess right, 4 against a 4. Free safety and the corners of 4s. Must run in play for Russell. 5, long gain in Wilson's card, 39-yard completion. Dennis has been hitting the 5 on the short passing with Wilson. We've seen 5s in the running game a little bit. And, yeah, you want to get it in the passing game on Mr. Wilson. Number 3 coming through in the clutch there. And Seattle's got the ball 1st and 10 at their own 47. Golden Tate's been the man, the former NFL Seahawk. 2 catches, 65 yards. He's been the man downfield for Seattle tonight. 9:18 to go. But the Seahawks got work to do. They're at their own 47. Off tackle right, Chris Thompson against a short yardage defense. Only a 1-yard gain is Chris Clark. Dennis emulating the NFL Seahawks with this Autumn Win offensive line. Could not make the block. 4s and a 0. And only 1-5 pass blocking. And he goes undefeated. 8:42 to go. 2nd and 9 for the Seahawks at their own 48. Short best Gary Barnage. Defense calls pass. 3 men in zone. 8 is incomplete in Wilson. And another 3rd and long for the Hawks. 8:24 to go. The longer this drive goes, the more imperative a new set of downs becomes for Dennis. Luke's offense has played well, even though Dennis has the excellent. 2 big bombs to Sanders, but it also has moved the ball reasonably well at times. It has not been a shutdown fest. 2 tights, 2 wide, 1 running back. Will Dennis run it again every 3rd and long? Will Luke finally call run? Now, Dennis did not run last time. There is the run. Linebacker Spencer Ware, defense calls pass. 7 yards. Dennis likes to do that. Set up his 4th and shorts. He's trailing by 1, 7:48 to go. He's at the Chicago 45, 4th and 2. We expect him to go for it because that's the way he plays the game, and he does go for it. Oh, Nelly. Let me tell you about Spencer Ware. 2 tights, 2 wide, 1 running back, 4-3 defense. This play to maybe save the undefeated season. 4th and 2 for the Hawks. There is 7:48 to go, but still. If you don't get this, boy. A lot of drama riding on this play. A lot riding this play. 7:48 to go. Dennis understandably taking his time thinking, what do I want to do here? I'm not going to run this 6 out here. He ran and run with the Ware in a running situation earlier. Short pass is sometimes a popular option because you're not going to find 4 guys there. It's a bit hit or miss. No dump off plays a part in that in case Luke is getting pass for the flat pass. Sometimes you throw flat at the 6. You know it's not likely to be flooded. Short pass to Sean Jackson. Defense calls pass. Jackson given by a 5. Must run and play. Wilson's been hot, and he's hot again. 11-yard completion on a 3 on 4th and 2. Guess right. Wilson's been hot with the short pass right, and we saw a long pass right on this drive. 22 of 39, 253, 1 touchdown. No interceptions. Doing with the arm and not the legs. I don't think we've seen a must run. Flat pass left, Chris Thompson. Defense gets some pass. Receiver gets right, 2 yards. 2nd down and 8. Whoever just came on, please mute your mic. There's a lot of noise in your background. I want to pivotal point in the game. That is got to be Michael Reeves. How do I guess? And I will mute Michael Reeves. Bingo. 2nd down and 8 for the Hawks. So if tackle right, Chris Thompson gets right. Offensive on to them, +4, -1. Greg Olson's only a 4, could not make the block. And also 1. 3rd down and 9 for the Seahawks at the Chicago 33. They trail by 1, 6 minutes to go. The field goal here is 2 to 5 on the default. Positive variable gets into 2 to 10 range. Then it doesn't rely upon that. And again, is he going to run it again here against his 0 to get into the 2 to 10 field goal range? He did that early in the game and then got negative variable on the field goal because he only got a 3-yard run and missed the field goal. Will Luke Guest run here? A run call here would be so gutsy. I know he's not listening. I can see who's listening. But what do you call running here? Dennis has run it all but once in these situations tonight. But that once was recently. We all know he needs the 1st down. Dennis is taking his time. Kerrigan's a 0-5. Don't let that 0 fool you. So he provides containment just as well as the inside linebackers are going to run inside. Flat pass left, Spencer Ware throwing at the 0. Excuse the run. 12 -1. Oh, terrible result. Right there, one would not have broken containment, but he would have got closer for the field goal. And now Dennis got 4th and 10. The Chicago 34. He's losing by 1. The field goal is only 2 to 5 if you don't get the positive variable. No man's land is what we call it. Circle World War I. And Dennis is in no man's land. What do I do here? Damned if I do, damned if I don't. He's been hot on 4th down. Field goal's only 2 to 5. The game's been weak. The punt will be a touchback. Dennis probably sitting there going, this really sucks. I don't have any good options. And he's going to go for it. When in doubt, let it all hang out. That's the way Mr. Crowley plays. 4th and 10 from the Chicago 34. 2 tights, 2 wide, running back. Olsen right, Garner's left. Tate's been the man in the big spot who's not been getting double teamed either. Olsen's been getting the attention despite being covered by the 5. I might want to leave him alone. Ware's covered by 6. I'll leave that alone. I don't think you'll see a run here on 4th and 10. Might want to throw a linebacker double team in there. Short pass, Spencer Ware. Being covered by 6. 4 men in zone. Defense double teaming Olsen. Incomplete on the defensive card. 4 men in zone. And Dennis turns it over on downs, trailing 21-25 with 6 to go. Undefeated season on the line. Defending Ornament Championship on the line. Chicago Bears taking over at their own 34. He beat Mark Lepage 14-1-1. He's trying to beat Mr. Crowley 16-0. But he's got work to do. Flat pass left to Vine Tololo. Defense calls run, throwing at the 4. And Tololo is no, but yes. 8-yard completion. Mariota's card. He missed that 7 on like a 3rd and 2 in a key spot. Missed the completion and got a 7 earlier in the half. 2nd and 2 for the Bears. They're on 42. That's not over. Dennis got to stop him and get the ball back. Really, even a touchdown, Dennis has a chance. But you really don't want to get many points here. The field goal is what we're going to have to get. Looking past to Ladarius Green. Defense goes short yardage on 2nd and 2. And receiver gets wrong. 28 yards. 2 men in zone because it's the full house formation. And he hits receiver on the defense's cut anyway. And rolls snake eyes for a 28-yard completion on Ladarius Green. 10 is plus 30. And the Bears with the Seattle 30. 3:54 to go. It's been an upset postseason for the 4 leagues. So Mifa, and then ought to win, and maybe ought to win again. Flat pass left, Odell Beckham being double teamed. Dennis has got 5-6 chances at an interception. Incomplete. He's got 3 units in his card. There were 2 on the offense's card. So it was 5 out of 72 chances for a pick. But you get the incompletion. White die 6, and the double team was needed. Because that's DeAndre Levy, ex-Berlin Thunder. I traded to Dennis this year to draft a punter. 2nd 10 off tackle right, Ezekiel Elliott. Defense calls run. Luke running at the 4. 4-yard gain this time for Elliott. Gets Luke down to the 26. Luke thinking field goal if necessary. 3 minutes to go. He's at the Seattle 26. Don't want to be too conservative here. Touchdown is awfully appealing, but you're far from that. Now Luke's too tight, too wide for running back. Will he run the ball on 3rd and line, on 3rd and long? Chance of the 1st down, and run right to Elliott. Von Miller's only a 5. Defense double team. The defensive end to 5. Get good block on that side. Offensive onside end plus 8 plus 3 1st down. The offensive onside end, Levine Tololo. 5 on a 5, 8 yards. A 1st down for the Bears at the Seattle 18, 2:24 to go. Elliott, 21 carries, 90 yards. Dennis needed that stop. He did not get it. Oh, my stars and garters. Flat pass left to Emmanuel Sanders. Defense calling run. 2 linebackers in zone. 3 units on Dennis's card for interception. Was just wrong. 8 is incomplete on the defense's card. And we've got 2:06 to play before the upset of the year will take hold. 2nd down and 10. Clock's going to stop after this anyway. Luke does what he wants here. Off tackle right is a play. Defense gets some pass. Luke running at the 4. Defensive tackle plus 3 or plus 7. Legiduzable, not up to the task. White die 6. And we have a 3rd and 3 at the 2-minute warning for the 11-yard line. 3rd and 3 Bears. 2 minutes to go. They lead 21-20. They're at the Seattle 11. He's gone full house here before. Please don't do it now. He goes full house. There's no long pass threat here to Beckham. Either throw a short pass 4 men into the X or flat pass 2. I mean, it's been working for Luke, I guess, but boy, Dennis doesn't like to pull run as much as maybe he could. Dennis is probably the best coach out there, so I guess you can't say that, but doesn't run as much as others. Looking past the Darius Green, defense goes short yardage. There will be 2 men in there, I believe. But wrong on the offense's card. My card, your card. 50-50, as Tony would say. Picked off 2 to 3. The offense's card, incomplete. 50-50, as Tony would say. My card, your card. But this was the offense's card. 4th and 3. Here comes Robbie Gold for the field goal to try to make it 24-20. Then we have Dennis trying to come down the field for a touchdown to win the game. If the field goal's up and good, and Mr. Crowder's got a chance. He's down 24-21, 45 to go. There was a long gain opportunity, but that was on one of these kicks. This goes 1 yard deep to Latimer. He takes a knee. Clock doesn't move. 1st and 10 Seattle at their own 25, 1:45 to go. I think the clock didn't move. I don't remember the rule there. And this needs a touchdown, or it's over. 75 yards. 1:45, 3 timeouts, 2 times, 2 wides. Chris Thompson in there, nickel 3-3-5. Might see an end run left. Might see an off tackle because the nose tackle is a 0. Might see a flat pass to Barnage or Thompson. End run left. Chris Thompson. No one there. Box in play. Defensive end +1 or +6. Only a 1 yard gain. The defensive end's a 5. Thompson does get out of bounds. No, does not. White die 5. I was looking at the black die 6 there. Dennis runs. Hurry up. 1:22 to go. Oh, man. That's not what you want to see. You need to do a play that stays in bounds and gets you 1 yard. But, you know, that's such a killer when that happens in these spots. 2, 3, and 5, the big completions on Wilson's called long pass right. Emmer left to Chris Thompson. Defensive onside M +8 or +3. Dennis gets the block from Gary Barnage. 4 and a 4. That's to stay off of those blocking readings. That means Thompson's caught or 8 of the defensive low spot. Thompson did get out of bounds that time on a white die 4. 2, 4, 6 gets you out of bounds. 1, 3, 5, you stay in. 3rd and 1 Seattle with 1:34. 1:15 to go. Defense nickel 3, 3, 5. Spencer Ware in there. 4 and Petit carries left. He's got that off tackle 11 +45. Linebacker Spencer Ware, 1 linebacker up there now. But that's from the 4-3. So Dennis says that won't take effect. 7 3-yard gain. Dennis needs a 6 or 8 short gain at least. Instead he gets, first down, but the clock runs way down from 1:15 to God knows what now. He may have to call his first time out. Get it at 1:07. He's thinking about what to do here. Unless we're stuck. I saw Chicago deciding what to do. I think Luke is comfortable with his nickel 3-5. We are stuck. Okay. Yeah, you get right back on this one. I promise you that much. Wake up, spell mode off. New game number, comma. Wake up. New game number, comma, please. Scratch that. Spell mode off. New game number, comma, please. Press enter key. Spell mode on. Go to sleep. Dennis knows we're broadcasting the game. He's very conscientious here. Oh my goodness. Well, Luke is rebooting his computer. About a minute to go here. Oh, maybe he knows his machine. Maybe he knows. Once I lose connection, I need to reboot. Big spot for it. And I was trying to remember what was going on the other side. In autumn wind.
What they call it?
Oh, that's right. You just scroll down. That's right. There's no. You look only won a wild card game, 16-14. So Luke, Chicago, San Diego. I watched some of that, some of the video of that. I didn't watch it live. I watched some of Michael's do that at the end. He only won his wild card game 16-14. So you know there was no indication. Then he's going to go beat the Cowboys 17-16. Now he's beating Dennis 21-20. Dennis 24-21. On the other side, we have Gary Nagata. Nagata believe the St. Louis Rams visiting Lawrence's San Francisco 49ers. Lawrence has started to have a nice amount of success in the last 3 years or so, after struggling a little while before that. He'd love to make the Olympic Super Bowl. With a high-powered offensive team. And that's going to be Monday night, I believe. Unfortunately, we have the Semi for Super Bowl at the same time. So I don't know who is going to call that game. I don't know if Dennis is going to call it. I don't know if Michael Reed is going to call it. I don't know if Dennis and Michael Reed is going to call it. Maybe no one's going to call it. I have no idea. I won't be there for it, though. Sorry, Lawrence. I will be calling a Semi for 28 playoff game for Lawrence Monday afternoon, which you requested. That league is in the playoffs of their inaugural season. It's a 2018 keeper league that Dennis started, and it's in the Salifa family of leagues. But Dennis is the commissioner. I'm the general manager of that league. We had a major falling out in round 4 of the inaugural draft because I wanted to draft a player. And Dennis was like, "Oh, I don't like that guy. Don't draft that guy, please. Can I get a veto? Can we each get one veto?" And I was like, "Do you want me to be the general manager? You want to pick the players? This is the guy I want to pick." He's like, "Oh, can I get a veto?" He's like, "The only reason why the guy's a bad pick." And I was getting annoyed, and I was like, "No." You know, for me, Strat's the only area in my life that I have like complete control. I have a disability. I can't even move really. So, but Strat's the one area where I can just do what I want. Don't have to worry about it. And then until Dennis wants me to be his partner, and it's me for 28, and then it's like, now it's a compromise. But and I said, well, this is the guy I want. I wanted to do it by consensus. I thought he was going to trust my judgment, but he does not trust my judgment apparently. He says, "I keep telling you, I just want you to pick the players, and I'll play the games." That's okay. You say that, but when I tell you who I want to pick, you go, "What are you doing?" So we're trying to work it out. But the play was Todd Gurley. Anyway, so we're pretty happy now that he didn't give him his veto. That Gurley which is number 2 in the NFL and MVP. Here's the game number. Okay. That story is famous now. 10984. Hold on. Wake up. Spell mode on. 10984. Microphone off. So it's 10984 if you're scoring at home and you want to connect. And we're back in business. Dennis has got the ball first and 10. That is 0-37, 1:15 to go. 10984, I think was the number I said. Two tights, 2 wide, 1 running back. Nickel 3-3-5. Emerald left, Chris Thompson. He was going past. There's a short game for Thompson. 13 yards and a first down up at midfield. Dennis missed a field goal, a 47-yarder when he got pushed back from 2 to 10 into a 2 to 5 variable. And he also maybe mismanaged the clock slightly at the end of the first half, costing him a chance at a field goal. I think it would have been a 49-yarder. And instead, now he needs a touchdown and not just a field goal. He calls his first time out there after the short gain. Thompson not getting out of bounds. 1:07 to go. 2 timeouts for Crowley. First and 10 at the Bear 50. So now the long pass touchdown becomes a real possibility. And you've got Deshaun Jackson, Golden Tate, Greg Olson. Flat back left, Chris Thompson. A 6th linebacker there. Receiver gets right. 2 yards. He better get out of bounds. He doesn't. White die 3. So Luke that time blitzed his right outside linebacker, who covers Gary Barnage, by the way, and slid the inside linebacker 6 out there. Dennis has to call his second timeout. We got 1 left. This is the Bear 48. 2nd down and 8. So some good defensive understanding there of the clock and how it might limit Dennis Crowley here. And that right outside is a 0-11 with an asterisk. Well, 0-12 normally, but nerfed down. And we're left, Chris Thompson, no linebackers there. Defense double teaming. 2nd 8, he's a short gain or something good. 8 plus 12 yards and a first down for Thompson. The defense's card, and he did not get out of bounds again on the 5. Dennis will probably go hurry up here. Hurry up gets him down to 37 seconds and 1 timeout. He calls his last timeout instead. 52 seconds to go. Crowley trailing 24-20, 16-0. First and 10 to Chicago 36. Thompson is he going to dare do a run play again? He's got no timeouts. I think this middle linebacker might slide out. I would not risk looking, but Luke might. That's going to be in Dennis's mind. But the outside linebacker may come up. The middle linebacker may slide out. Do a run and run there. The other option is run it to 6. Don't think you want to do that. Might throw a short pass. Try to rely on Russell to get another clutch completion, short pass right, like he's done so many times tonight. Looking past Chris Thompson. Nobody there gets wrong. This could be first down yardage, and it's a 9-yard gain only. You'd like to get a little more than that on this play. At least he didn't get the 3+1. Ugh. But 2nd and 1, he could spike it, and he does. It's not a bad call because you only need 1 yard for the first down. You got 2 plays to get it. 3rd and 1 for Dennis at the Chicago 27. 37 seconds to go. It was like that New Orleans-Minnesota game at the end here. Emerald left, Chris Thompson. Defense calls pass. Dennis needs a short gain. 4-yard gain on Thompson's squad. 3 was +20, and he does knock it out of bounds again. Die for the sticks, Thompson. Die for the paint. Dennis has to spike it. Only 22 seconds to go now. He might only have 2 plays remaining. He's got 2nd and 10 at the Chicago 23. Thompson gets a touchdown on 11 on an end run wrong with +25. He can stay in bounds on that one. If he gets the touchdown, it's fine. 2nd and 10 for the Hawks. Emerald left, Chris Thompson again. Defensive end -3 or +2. That's going to be a loss of yards probably.
Oh, God.
Thompson gains 2 yards and gets out of bounds this time.
Okay.
Charles Johnson was a 5, and the white die was a 6. 15 seconds to go. 3rd and 8 Seahawks at the Chicago 21. Oh. There's the humanity. 3rd and 8. No timeouts. 15 seconds left. He needs a crossing pattern from Steve Young to Terrell Owens. But you're probably going to see a long pass here. Dennis might not want to take a chance. Can you imagine a free safety blitz here all out against Dennis's bad line? That would be gutsy. 2 tights, 2 wide. I'm not saying it would be smart, but it'd be gutsy. Well, that's Golden Tate. Only 1 linebacker back there. You got 2 men back there. 4 free safety, a 4 corner. What's he doing? It's bad call. Defender X +27. Touchdown.
Oh, my gosh.
21-yard touchdown.
Oh, my gosh. Oh,
from Russell Wilson
no.
to Golden Tate. Luke left only 1 guy back there.
Oh,
with 15
no.
seconds left. Dennis needed a touchdown to win the game. He got it.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, that's a bad call. White die 5, beat the 4. 1 second on the clock. It's going to be an onside kick. The extra point was academic. Spectator leaves the game. 27-24 Seahawks. Oh, Luke. Oh.
Poor Luke. Oh,
I'm not your father. Oh, Luke. Oh, no. You can't leave. You can't do that. You can't leave 1 guy back there. Or, if you double team the wrong guy, it's one thing, but you leave 1 guy back there, you have 15 seconds, no timeouts for the 21. I guess, was he worried about, I don't know, thinking back-to-back short passes, and the first one gets out of bounds? I guess I could see that. I don't know. Oh, boy. Oh. Oh, boy. Oh, Luke, you had it. You had it. No double team on Tate the 4. You've been throwing at Tate the whole time. Nor 2 men back there. You got to do one of those things, right? Linebacker standing around. What was the middle linebacker doing in that play? He might have had a double on Olsen. I don't think so. Wow. Oh, boy. You had it. You had it. Wow. Boy, oh boy. And we'll see if we get Dennis Crowley on. There he is.
Hey, what do you think about that game? Enough excitement for you?
So how's the rabbit's foot working out?
Jesus Christ! What a finish! What a game!
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Why does he have one guy in long pass when you got 15 seconds, no timeouts, and you need a touchdown to win the game at his 21-yard line?
I'm guessing that he was looking for me to go 2 plays, short pass and then short pass. So he wanted 4-minute zone. He called a great game, but you can't really nitpick him. But of course, 2-minute zone there, and that's I don't know if I really hesitated there because I figured he would have 2-minute zone, but I'm running out of time. I've got to take a shot, and he's also was doubling a lot, doubling tape with that outside linebacker. So
yeah,
had to take a shot.
Yeah, I felt like I know that you take your shots down the field in those types of spots. I know that, and you've had success with that. The 4th down to Golden Tate earlier in the game and stuff like that. You're not gonna lose being conservative. And I just feel like now I know that for having watched you play so many games, which might be to your disadvantage, by the way, when you play me. But now from having watched you play so many games, I just felt like, 15 seconds left. Even if you complete the short pass, you're not guaranteed to get out of bounds in that and stop the clock, I don't think, correct?
No, I'd be able to spike.
You get a spike? You get a spike there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I have 1 second left to try a
sure.
shot to the end zone.
Yeah, but I feel like to neither double team Tate nor have 2 men back there. I can't remember. Did his middle linebacker double team Olsen, or was his middle linebacker just standing there doing nothing?
He used him to double team Olsen. He would slide him over to cover for the.
No. On the touchdown play.
Oh, he wasn't doing anything.
He was just standing there.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so I think from the 21. I don't know. If it was me against you,
of course. But if it was you against me, I would have. That's the whole different dynamic.
Cat and mouse, yeah.
Like Luke on that last one, I thought, you know what? I should have ran it to set up the field goal to take the lead before that. Instead, I threw the flat pass to Ware, which lost a yard, which took me out of the. I didn't really feel comfortable kicking the field goal there.
No.
But if it was, I was thinking more like, oh God, he's gonna switch it up and key Ware
and call run or something.
Yeah, and then, but what? The more I think about it, I shouldn't think that, because that's what somebody who's played me a lot would do. Maybe Luke doesn't have that because he hasn't played me that much. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. It's like it's total cat and mouse game. It can go either way. But I felt I was damn lucky to get the win, but I was also unlucky in some spots, like the 2 long passes that were complete.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Huge numbers. 64 yards to Emmanuel Sanders twice.
Yeah, no. With the luck, I was really talking about just the last play.
Yeah,
which wasn't lucky. It wasn't a lucky result when you're throwing against the safety 4 and a corner 4.
By the way,
I was just feeling like, no, it's not luck because that's what he called,
right?
But but he shouldn't have called that to me. You can't. A touchdown's the only thing that beats you. Long pass completion, the game's over. Pretty cool. You only have 2 plays there.
Pretty cool game. Pretty fun season and fun way to end that game. No matter what happens in the championship game, I'm definitely playing with house money. Isn't this like the Packers and Seahawks, except the little more twists and turns?
I was thinking.
I really shouldn't be in the Super Bowl. Just like the Seahawks really shouldn't have been in that Super Bowl against the Patriots.
Well, you're probably right, because that's a conference championship game going into a Super Bowl. I was saying with a couple minutes ago, I felt like it was like Minnesota, New Orleans a little bit. Just like, I don't know, like something crazy might happen, and with you having no time left and needing a touchdown and this and that.
Yeah, that's a good parallel too.
And you should have put 2 guys back there, Dennis.
What a game! What a game!
Tony Lippett. He needs a little help.
He's the guy who went under him and trying to tackle him or keep him out of the end zone.
Yeah, can Gary Barnidge can go deep, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a threat also. So, he couldn't have. While you were too tight, so he actually could have double teamed both. He would then go 3-3-5. He could have double teamed both Tate and Barnidge, and let my 6s and 5s cover the other guys. That was an option. Could have done the old double, or just put the guy deep.
Yeah.
But there's no way I'm leaving that safety fullback there all by himself when you need a touchdown to beat me.
Yeah, not. And if you look at the white die roll on that play, it was a 5. So if I try to go on to Deshaun Jackson or Spencer Ware, incomplete.
Yeah, now Dennis. We all love you, and we'd like to see you do well, and you're a very gracious winner. So I none of the guys who know you well and like you are rooting against you, but our heart has to go out to Luke to be so close to beating an undefeated team, and you're the guy, you're the gold standard out there, to be so close to beating you with an undefeated team and to lose that way, that is devastating.
And I play with the animation on, and you broadcast with it on too. So when the snap happens, I'm looking at the result. Defender X or plus 27, and I'm watching the football travel towards the guy. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't be a 4. Please don't be a 4. Touchdown. So,
well, yeah, I saw as a spectator, maybe you kind of see the animation first.
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
That's my eyes always go to the animation, not to the little box score. So I was like watching it and playing at the same time. So it was kind of cool.
Well, yeah, well, I think when you're watching the game as a spectator, I think it shows you the animation first. I forget, and the animation is not always. Not always the clearest. Not always the clearest.
No, I mean on an incompletion, it would have done exactly the same thing, except it would have at the very end, like not connected. So
yeah, so it looked like he had caught it on the animation. It looked like he had caught it. And on further review, I checked the thing. It said defender X 5 against the 4. On further review, it was a catch. He did have it. That's right.
Play on the field stands.
I couldn't believe it. Amazing.
Fun, huh?
Yeah. Oh, and for him, and then for you, maybe to have an undefeated season and a back-to-back championship on that play. Well, that's amazing.
If you look earlier in the drive, yeah, fantastic. But earlier when Luke drove down to get the field goal, he goes with his short yardage and he throws flat passes against short yardage, which usually is a bad idea. But he hit 1 3rd down. He hit the plus 28 or plus 38 on Levine Toilolo's card.
It was Ladarius Green.
Oh, Ladarius Green, yeah.
Well, yeah, it was Ladarius Green. That was on the short yard. He kept going. That was on the short yardage, but 2 men in zone because of the full house backfield. Right. He got the he hit your card 2 men in zone, but he got the receiver reading.
Right.
And not only did he get the receiver reading, get snake eyes. Now Green also had 10 plus 30. So I was like, whoa. So he could have hit something else.
Yeah,
but he got the 2 plus 28, and I thought you were done.
Yeah, I did too. And then right before the field goal, another short yardage pass, another 2 men in zone reading, I think. But if it had gone on the offensive card, that could have been a first down and a touchdown, and then I would be lucky if I would somehow tie it and get the 2-point conversion. So, man, oh man. Or he could have just got a first down and need it out and used up all the time. So, or you made me use up my timeouts.
Now did you give up 24 points in the regular season to anybody?
I know I gave up that. I gave up 24 to you.
You gave up 22 to Hamilton late in the season.
Right.
You gave up 20 to me the first time. Well, the second time you'll give 7. So you have 22. Now, of course, the playoffs. Conference championship game, you're playing the best teams, of course. So,
Well, not only that, but check this out. Last year in my first, my run through the playoffs, those 3 games, I gave up 3 points, 3 points, 3 points to win the title. So, and then the first game this year, I'd given up 3 points to Butch. So it was like 4 playoff games in a row, giving up 3 points. In one game, he surpassed that total. So.
Well, yeah. in one play.
Really?
First touchdown.
Really, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, he had, like I said during the broadcast, like that 12 on a receiver for plus 64, that type of reading on a 1%. Maybe you get that once a year, maybe
Twice in
for
the
that
game.
receiver.
But I was calling run there. I shouldn't have been calling run. I should have been calling pass. But this is the way I thought I would. I was really worried about Ezekiel Elliott having like a 200-yard game and kicking me out that way. So I had to respect the run. So I was calling run maybe a little too much and maybe a little too predictably by calling run on first downs. So
yeah, I don't know. I thought that true to your typical form, you didn't call run as much as other guys do when they're trying to shut down the run. You sprinkled it in a little bit, but I do agree with you. And I thought Luke called an excellent game, except for one play near the end. But I thought Luke called an excellent game. The offense especially, he seemed to have you off balance. Yes, he got the big rolls when he needed them, but he seemed to have you off balance a lot. He was, what I liked was that you only have a couple places to really target on that defense. And for him, it was at your left tackle 4, at the right linebacker 4, and then he could throw downfield to Beckham, covered by 5. Since Beckham was maxed out,
right,
and he did a nice job not being predictable with that stuff, but also not completely going away for it, thinking that you're gonna slam into it. Okay,
right.
That you're gonna be sure to cover it. And he mixed all that stuff in well. Mixed in the end run and Mariota. Ran Elliott the other way sometimes to mix it up. Did some end runs with Elliott. Threw flat passes of various types, not just throwing at the 4. Threw to Sanders down the field because Mariota's got a pretty good deep card, and Sanders has got a good deep card. So I thought he did a real nice job on offense. Yes, he got the big plays there, but he did a real nice job with the offense. Got the one big run from Elliott. And then who was big for you? Big surprise. Russell was clutch with all those. Well, yes, but Russell was clutch with all those short pass rights. He hit quite a few short pass rights that you needed, because you had some 3rds and 8s and 9s and a 4th and 8. And then he hit the long pass right long in on his own card. But the short pass right for Russell in the second half was big for you. I felt like getting that going. Chris Thompson needs to work on getting out of bounds. He was getting tackled in bounds on like almost every one of those plays. That was hard. I know you were trying. And it was hard for you because he got the big plays. And then you were down 21-17, and you were running the ball, and he was giving you the run, but you're eating up a lot of clock and stuff, and you weren't getting like the plus 45 on Ware or whatever that you're probably hoping for. Now it had to kill you when you got hit with a negative variable to miss the field goal. It would have been a 2-10 field goal, because you at the 33-yard line, 3rd and long. You do a running play, guess wrong with Ware at his nose tackle 0. He only got 3 yards. It's like if I could have got, just like a 5, 6, 7-yard gain or something, bang, automatic 3 points basically. You only get 3 yards here at the 30. All right, fine. Still 2-10, and then bang, negative variable to miss that field goal. That was a killer.
Right.
And then also, end of the first half, you had 15 seconds to go. You had a 39-yard line, and you threw a looking pass instead of a flat pass.
Yeah. Oh man, stupid.
And it was complete for 7 yards, no first down, 4th and 2, and that was it. Time expired. You couldn't spike it because you would have lost the ball on downs.
I really thought he was going to move the middle linebacker, and then I would get the first down and then spike it. That was the plan.
I'm just realizing that as I'm saying that, which is not a bad. It's not a bad idea actually.
Because he had done that a couple times earlier than that, but like you said, he did a great job of mixing it up.
Yeah, he did. He called an excellent game. I would have liked. I can't. Like these guys. Like he went 12-4. He beat Mark last round. He went toe to toe with you and very nearly pulled off the victory. So I can't really criticize his performance. But I thought at times for you when you had the ball 3rd and 8, 39, and you had quite a bit of that, even 4th and 8, 10, 11. I was thinking, how about maybe all out blitz? How about a safety blitz, all out blitz? Because your offensive line, you have 1-5 on the offense. You don't have any. Not only do you not have any 7s, you only have 1-5. So I mean, no matter what you have.
But if some coaches are not comfortable doing that, that's not going to be in their game plan or in their strategy.
Sure.
I don't think he's a big blitzer. Maybe he will be later.
Yeah,
right
and I know it's a risky play, and I know we have double counting and no dump off, so you don't want to maybe give the guy a big play in the sniper scope. But you just felt like maybe a couple of those would have had you. I mean that's a real weakness for your team. And I don't know. That would have been possibly been a way to go, but maybe.
But then you start doing that, and then I start running draws against linebackers that aren't there. So it's I can't fault him necessarily for sticking with his game plan because it really worked. It gave me fits.
Coach, a great game, absolutely. But I was just wondering at times if that was an option. He had the great run key on you.
Oh, I would have done that. I know you would have done that, and I know I would have done that. I love blitzing against guys with weak offensive lines, but
his he had four. It would have been 4-5-5 on the defensive line, but he got 2 12s at outside linebacker, and even Zach Brown's an 8. From his nickel 3-3-5, and they have the safety blitz in there, and they're bumping these guys up to 8, to 8s and 9s. So I don't know. Maybe he did the right thing. It's hard with no dump off and the double counting. He's got a good pass defense. There's really not that much of an incentive to go for the sack. But just against your particular team, and Russell was hot with the short passing. I kind of felt like all that would have been good.
I was gonna say Vegas is happy because all the money was on the under, and I don't think anybody expected 51 points in the game. That's
right. And if you had the Bears, you probably did well because you probably were favored by more than 2.5. That's for sure. More than 3.
Michael Reeves made it -8 or -9 or something like that. So if you bet the over with the Bears, you parlayed that, you are looking pretty.
That's right. And Michael Reeves has joined the call. Mike, you there? He's not here. I muted him previously. I don't know if but he just disconnected and rejoined. I don't think he's still muted. But yeah, Luke called a great game. It was just that last play. I feel like I of all the things you could do there, and I know what it is. I know you're trying to call the right play, but just in the last play, I just really would have liked to see either 2-minute long pass. Look, if he doubled a couple of guys and you threw to a non-doubled guy and got the touchdown, so be it. But to leave that safety four back there by himself and to not double team anybody, and Tate's covered by a 4, you're giving the guy too many opportunities to win the game. You need a touchdown.
Thank God. That's all I can say.
So it's weird. I mean, look, great game by Luke. But the last play.
Go back and look at that drive. He never pulled his extra DB back to the deep zone.
Yeah, okay, but he didn't have to until those, you had no timeouts and 15 seconds left. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And he didn't do it in the first half. So that's why I felt I got to try it because he hadn't been doing it up to that point.
Sure. So, it might be Michael doing more laundry. I'm not sure.
Michael, what's up? Michael Reeves, where are you?
Oh, man. I was at a basketball game, and I was listening to it the whole time, and I was living and dying with poor Luke. Look, congratulations, man. I'm so happy for you, but, boy, I feel for him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing is that if I would have lost that game, I still would have been happy for Luke because what the heck, man? From 1-15 to the Super Bowl – or to the Uber Bowl. I mean, he was that close to doing it, and he really should, by all rights, be there. But I'm not giving this game back. I'll take it.
No.
I'll take it and say thank you very much.
No. I think it's one of those things with like a couple of minutes left. You're like, I think I've seen this book. I've read this book. I've seen this movie. I know where this is going.
Well, I didn't know where I was going. I had a long way to go and not a lot of time.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, tilt your camera down so we can see the rest of your face. Right now, we're getting the top half.
Although, nice haircut. I like the goatee going on there, Mike.
Maybe I should tilt it back, right?
Looks good.
Michael could be a dungeon. Michael could be a Dungeons and Dragons character with the mustache and beard. He could be like a cleric or a wizard or something like that, right?
Yeah, I like that.
So.
We're talking about getting a D&D, an autumn wind D&D game going when these.
Now, hold on, time out. That is not in the offing. That is not something. That is not something that we talked about. I have two nieces, and one of them really who got a little bit into Dungeons and Dragons, which I played 35 years ago or 30 years ago, or whatever, when I was a teenager. So I was refamiliarizing myself with the Dungeon Master for her. So Dennis is always looking to for new fun activities to do. So it's like, oh, you can Dungeon Master for me and my kids, and we can do it by Skype. But I'm like, dude, I'm just like learning some rules for the first time since 1985. Okay,
that would be fantastic. If we ever, if there's any Dungeon Masters, experienced Dungeon Masters in the Oops family of leagues, let us know. I would love to get try to remember what that was like playing. I try to be the Dungeon Master for my kids, and I just have to keep looking at the book. What are the rules? What are the rules? If I would only read, if I would read the rules as much as I read the Strat Football rules, I'd be an expert. But I'm terrible.
Yeah. Well, Dennis, I'm not playing with someone else a Dungeon Master now.
Well,
I would only play if I was a Dungeon Master. Well, you would, yes, of course.
I would. I'd let my kids teach us how to do. Teach us how to do it. Or Tom, once you master it, then you.
Let me get my toe in the water, and then let me get a little familiar with it first, and then it's a possibility. But one thing I'm concerned about, Dennis, with you is when you got the kids there and you got the video cam on, there always seems to be a lot. It's a family environment. And there's always a lot of getting up and walking away and taking care of things. I'm used to like when it's time to play, we commit to those 4 or 5 hours.
What I'm taking care of is my kids. So if my kids are in the game with me, we're there. All
right. Okay. All right. I'll need a firm commitment from House Crowley that that will have whatever period of time we commit to, 4 to 6 hours probably, to get a good campaign going.
Sounds good.
And it would be committed time. So as long as it is.
Okay, guys.
Basically the length of one of my draft recap shows.
Perfect. I can do that. Okay, guys. I got to get going. Thank you so much. Appreciate you calling the game, Tom. And I will see you guys in the Super Bowl. See you on Monday for that NFC game.
Yeah, who's calling the NFC game, Dennis?
Whatever you want. I can do it. Michael can do it.
I'm calling the Semi for Super Bowl, which is at the same time.
Okay.
So I can't be calling the Autumn Wind NFC Championship game. So either Michael or both of you.
What do you want, Michael? You want to do it?
Dennis, I can do it, or let's just join each other and do it. Let's
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Sounds good. We'll see you on Monday then, guys.
Congratulations, Dennis.
Thanks. See you,
all right, see you later, Dennis.
Bye.
Congratulations. And Michael.
Hi, Tom. Hey, you called a great game.
Thanks. Yeah, you've been doing a great job with all those broadcasts and kind of making Autumn Win your thing there, which I think is good.
Yeah,
because I got my hands full anyway. So
I know.
Good job there.
You called a great game. I'll tell you this: I know I kind of hopped in and out of the broadcast. I had a hard time connecting with Hangouts. So what I usually do is I'll just go to the YouTube stream. It's just about 5 or 10 seconds behind. And that was clear. And then here toward the end, I jumped back in on the stream. But you called a great game.
Thanks. Yeah, well, it was an easy one to call. It was a great game to watch at the end there. Just amazing, But yeah, and I know the guys have been enjoying your preview shows for each round of the playoffs.
Yeah, I missed this one. I missed this one by a mile. I honestly didn't think there was going to be this many points scored in this one. I really didn't. I thought it'd be in the 30s.
Well, predicting these things is never easy. I mean, look at Philadelphia, Minnesota, or look at the Super Bowl. I don't think that with Nick Foles, people in the NFL Super Bowl, people thinking that the Eagles were going to put up that kind of performance, though that Tom Brady would throw for 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, and lose. 500 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was the first quarterback in NFL history, regular season or playoffs, to throw for 500 yards, 500-plus yards, 3 touchdowns, and no interceptions, and lose. He did have a turnover on the sack fumble at the end, but still. So,
I called 8 of these playoff games, basically wild card and division. So I got a chance to see both of these teams basically play twice, and I saw Seattle play once, and I also had a regular season. So I kind of had some knowledge of what these players would do, so I could kind of anticipate some of their plays. But you haven't had a chance nearly as much to see either one of these two teams play, and I thought you called it flawlessly. It was really a good call, and it was very enjoyable. Very enjoyable.
Well, I've been playing the game for a while. This is my 40th year of Stratomatic football. So, and I've called a lot of these games. It doesn't take much to see what the guys have, what they're going to do. So,
absolutely.
All right. But so we go out. We've got one Super Bowl participant, Dennis Crowley's Seattle Seahawks, going for back-to-back after nearly or fairly miraculous last-second victory over the Bears, who played a great game, had a great season on in their own right. And it's going to be the St. Louis Rams, Gary Nagata at Lawrence Green, San Francisco 49ers, Monday night, I think around 8 or 8:30 Eastern time, somewhere around there.
9 o'clock. 9 o'clock Eastern. Yep.
9 o'clock Eastern. Michael Reeves will be calling it, possibly with Dennis Crowley in there. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'll probably watch that, or we'll certainly watch the end of it, depending on when the SEMIFA Super Bowl ends. SEMIFA Super Bowl is, I think, 8 or 8:30 that same night. So
right.
All right, Michael. Good luck Monday. I'll see you around.
Thank you, Tom. I enjoyed it very much. Have a good time calling that game.
And Michael, did you feel like I was too harsh? Did you listen? What was your reaction to my SSFA season preview for your club?
Oh my God! Hey, Tom, it was great.
I thought you might enjoy it, but I always worry if I think sometimes you forget that people are people, and I'm just running my mouth on things, and then like when the next time I do a show and I'm live, and if there's a guy there, and I'm talking to the guy, then it's like, oh yeah, this is actually a human being. You can't just say what you want about. You can't just be a blank hole the whole time.
No. Listen, Tom Cook is not a used car salesman. Okay, he tells it like it is, and I totally respect that.
Okay, so yes, have you played any games yet with that team?
You know, I've actually been asked by a couple of the coaches to schedule some, but honestly, I want to see how this autumn wind is going to wind up, and plus, I've got a SEMIFA 28 playoff game, so I'm kind of putting them to the side just a little bit until we can get this thing worked out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to jumping in.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Sometimes I do the same thing at times. Like if I have multiple leagues going, I'll try to like play one league and get their games out for the block, and then the other league get their games out for the block. And yeah, and you know, I've done what you're doing here with Autumn Wind, where you kind of call pretty much the entire postseason, and you really do. It really is interesting, and you really get to see it all unfold, and you get a much better sense of the story, really more so than anyone else can. I mean, there have been guys who have watched an entire postseason. Bradley Miller watched one of the entire postseasons I did a couple years ago. But for the most part, guys don't watch every single game. So when you call every single game or you watch every single game, it's really neat. You know, there is a sense of like of completion and of fullness and of stuff like that you don't get, I think, when you're not calling all those games or watching all those games, you know?
Well, and these guys have been compelling. I mean, this is now the 9th playoff game that we've had. There's only been one game that's been decided by 10 points. There was another that was decided by 8, and all the rest of them have been within a touchdown or a field goal. So, I mean, they've all been close. They've all been very compelling. And I liked your comments today, too, on the rule sets and how that does affect play and keeps some of these games close. And at the same time, it keeps some teams from pulling an upset. So when they went down 17-0, I was thinking this game's over. How in the world is he going to get these points against an excellent run and pass defense? So I agree with what you were saying. It's a little bit of a surprise they were able to make a run like that.
Yeah, well, in fairness, I guess this postseason would be a case to say that there's nothing wrong. You know, I mean, the games have been close and the games have been compelling. And we had the upset of the Cowboys, who were second in a row. We had an upset like that, and Dennis was upset. He was one except for one play at the very last play. You know, I mean, that was as close as you can get to another upset. So you know, things have been very competitive. You know, I'm not sure that everyone liked all my comments on the forum, Michael, in that thread.
Well, it moved the needle. How's that?
Well, it depends on whose needle it is, I think.
You're always good at needling. That's right.
and what's being gauged? You know, it may have moved the anger needle on a couple of people. I'm not sure. We'll see. So, but no, and I'll be and good luck in your SEMIFA 28 playoff game. I'm calling one of those games Monday afternoon, 2:00 Eastern.
Yeah, and, I've got Dallas. I've got the #1 seed. So good luck to that. He destroyed me early on in the season. We'll see.
That's a definite. You're definitely going to play Joe the Hammer. Okay.
Well, you know what? I believe so. I'll have to double check and make sure because there were 2 games already that were played. There was one more to go, but I think it would have been quite an upset for the lower seed to get in. So let's just put it this way: I'm playing the #1 or I'm playing the #2. So either way, it's not like #2 is going to be like, oh, thank goodness. No, they're both tough teams. So
what's going to be interesting for me, Michael, is that you know, I'm Genesis general manager, in Semi for 28, and and he has a playoff game coming up. So it'll be interesting to call the game for the team general manager. I feel like I can really complain about any coaching if I wish there.
I listened to that on the drive home. Actually, I was listening to you, the general manager, and he's the coach. And sometimes the lines of communication were blurred just a little bit. But that's
the lines of communication were clear, but but finding agreement was difficult. So
tough to find consensus. I agree, but he's a great coach. Boy, he is just something else.
Well,
out of the hat tonight, man.
You can't really complain about Dennis's coaching, that's for sure. As a general manager, even as the announcer. So, but I try to make it interesting anyway.
That's you too.
Yeah. All right.
Great call, Tom. I enjoyed it. Thank you so much for letting me on. I appreciate it, and I look forward to.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, I'll listen to that Samifa game next week. Call a great game, okay?
Sure. All right, Michael. I'll catch you later. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody, we're off. If you're still listening to us, I hope you know what happened. Tremendous game. Tremendous game. Chicago at Seattle. Last second heroics from Russell Wilson and Golden Tate. Tremendous. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.